Did you know Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. was born August 17, 1887, and he returned to the Essence in June of 1940? He was a Jamaican political activist, publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, and orator for the Black nationalism and Pan-Africanism movement. He funded the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. Garvey advanced a Pan-African philosophy which inspired a global mass movement known as Garveyism. Garveyism would eventually inspire others from the Nation of Islam to the Rastafari movement. Hoover referred to Garvey as a notorious Negro agitator, and for several years desperately sought ways to find damning personal information on him, even going as far as to hire the first Black FBI agent in 1919 in order to infiltrate Garvey's ranks and spy on him. Did you know that? Well, now you do. Peace.
Oh, as we speak?
Yeah, so I can just get some footage. Hello, everybody. This is Pops, aka Slim, aka Pops. How's it been? Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Why are you acting out?
No, I'm not acting. I'm just trying to be social distance.
Be social distance. Oh yeah, you're not trying to catch the COVID. So Pops, how does it feel to have a grown kid? How does it feel
To have a grown kid.
to have a grown 30 something year old kid now? Like a child, like, it's not the same. I'm not up under you, sucking my thumb, twirling your shirt and stuff like that. How does it feel to have a grown child?
The one thing that you said is a grown child. The one thing that I have learned about children is that no matter how old they are always your children. And to me, it's not too much different. You're not getting a whooping or anything like that. You're not getting no punishment or anything like that. But when it comes to you needing us giving some type of provision or help or just an ear, um, that'll never change. I think that the only thing that's different is now I'm just watching you from a further distance.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes are still on you, and my heart. You know what we do every morning? We pray every morning. While you're on your way to work, and nothing changes for a parent. It's not a COVID. It's not a distance. Nothing can change us from being who we were designed to be. Your parent.
So you didn't have a mental breakdown about me leaving and going to New York. How did that affect you? Because we already know how it affected this woman over here. But how did it affect you?
I don't know. I'm not affected the same way. We don't act the same. Me and your mom don't act the same in any kind of way when it comes to something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a good thing that you going somewhere and doing different things. But I also feel like, aha, now she's doing what we have always said to her. All of the things that we were saying about independence and showing you how to be independent. That you don't necessarily have to have a car. Sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. This area where we live at, a lot of times you do feel like you need a car, but you don't necessarily have to have one. And it's like you don't gotta get these crazy car notes and all these different types of things, and it's like catch the bus. And now you're in a situation where you just that's just a part of life, and it's like I don't know. I feel like you're just growing up, and I don't think that growing up has to do with age necessarily. I think I'm not gonna say you're growing up. That sounds real tough. I would say you're maturing. That sounds better. And so for me, when you are away, I I don't feel like it's not like you're in Africa to me. It ain't no Mama Winnie stuff going on. Cause the day that something don't go right, if we gotta go on a big wheel, we're gonna come up there, and fix whatever needs to be fixed. Like it's not you're not even though you far, you're not that far to me.
Yeah, I'm not. Like, you can't come.
You're not a world away, and I just feel like it's just like you just got a job and you come over here when you can. I guess I don't know if I mentally blocked that out or something, or I just considered it that way. I just consider it like to me, it's like you in Dallas or something right now. To me, it's not really. It's like, well, I'll get here when you know, cause you always right here with me. Like even though you're not here, I feel like you with me. Like I don't feel like how we did what we did when we. I don't feel like we missed a beat. You know.
Yeah, it really don't feel like that because I still talk to y'all every day, and I can see y'all on video chat.
Yeah.
It's just for me, the only difference is that when I feel like I want to go see them,
yeah.
Now I was like, dang.
And plus, like one of the, how you see all these different people. I don't know. I think for one, a lot of men, especially black men, they not very. They don't. I'm gonna say it like this: they show their affection in a different way to their children. And we ain't really, uh, we show our love in our family in a whole bunch of different ways. It's not like we just like how people they can be waiting in line and they just hugging and smelling and touching and like
we're not a huggy, love you every 5 minutes type family. Probably talk about you. That's how you know we love you. Like, oh, you ugly. That means I love you. It's good to see you. Like, that it's different. It's definitely different.
It's different to let's say to a degree, because some people can't handle the hot sides. Some people can dish it, but they can't take it.
It prepared me for a place like New York. You gotta have tough skin. You definitely can be sensitive because you're gonna get talked about. You can have like you see how fly he is. You can find something to talk about. That's just pretty much. Look at this nigga with this old brown sweater.
I know you're not outside no lie.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, because we can go.
We can crank it up.
I'm ready to go right now. Come on.
But that's how it is. So yeah, I just wanted to get some footage of y'all, and now I know how to edit the videos. I think I might put this I'm gonna combine y'all. Okay. I'm gonna combine it.
So you talking about parents? Something parental when it comes to me. It's always been this thing with me. Most people say I look young. Then every time they ask me, how many kids you got? And I say I got 3. What's the ages? And I say
30.
Well, 30. And when they like going crazy, like, how do you got a 30-year-old? And I'm like, well, I got her when I met my wife, and really, I met you before I met my wife.
We can go ahead and tell the story. I am the reason.
The Lord.
For the season. I definitely, hooked them up and
what just said like the T.I. is. Michael was just outside playing. She was more free than she was when she was 13. You know, she was out there playing, just being free. And I was over at my cousin's house, and she just was one of the kids that was outside playing. And she just started messing with me. And I'm like, little girl, get away from me. And it, like, she just kept messing with me, and I don't know. It was like every time I went over to my cousin's house, I was like, there go that little girl that's just always.
So how many times did you see me before you met my mama? Like, it was like months, or? I don't know.
I saw you and I associated. I knew that you was your mother's child. But most of the time I saw you, I didn't see your mama. I don't know where she was at. I don't know if she was, you know,
so
out there making that money.
Wow. How did you associate? So did you happen to see us together one day, or did you ask?
I figured it out. I figured it out. I'm very observant. I just figured it out. The only thing I did think that was not correct was I thought that the two apartments was really one apartment. I thought that they had like 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms and all this. And I thought it was one apartment. And I thought that the next door neighbor was like your grandmother. And I thought it was like a grandmother, a daughter, and a granddaughter living in the same apartment. And because I was like, well, the grandmama be outside. The grandbaby be outside, but where the mama? And so, but it all came together, and you talking about what brought us together. I'ma say I can say this for sure that whenever I really got to know Chantil and Michael. There was a point where I was like not really sure about our relationship, but Michael was the thing that made me reconsider. I had so much.
She had, right?
I had so much. Like I don't know. Like I was going from playing video games and playing basketball, and then just something inside me was like, I gotta be a dad to this little girl. Like I don't know what it was, but I mean, trying to teach you how to ride a bike, trying to read, all the different things. Like I felt compelled to do it, even though like you just getting on my little nerves. Even though
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I definitely did get on your nerves.
But all we had to do with you is just just walk out the room and you was good. Cause you was doing Zoom by yourself before Zoom even came out.
Yeah.
You was Zoom in the room by yourself. Yeah. So.
Well, that's good. Like I was talking to her about Bubba being able to basically, like now Bubba is like living off of the fruit of y'all labor. Like I seen, from spring chase to now, how y'all always wanted a house and a home and everything. So it's good to see y'all actually, y'all made it. Y'all did a lot of good things from having to. I seen it all. I remember it all. Even though I didn't realize that we wasn't poor. You know what I'm saying? But I thought we was way richer than we was. I never knew the difference. Like y'all did a good job at making sure that we,
I know what you're trying to say, but I mean, I think being rich. I think what made us rich. I mean, I don't know if I'm subconsciously saying this because I was watching the Will Smith special, but I think what made us rich was just being family. Because it's not about stuff no matter what. Because like even if it was, I still say we don't have nothing. We still struggle. We still everybody still but I think what to me what make us rich is the things that we done. You know, the quality time that we spent. You know, all the times that we went, we did home movies and went to the park.
Before there was a YouTube, we definitely we've been on this the home movies and recording ourselves
Yeah.
and you know. Did you see I know before because you grew up being in front of the camera too, but is it something that you may have seen in me to be like, I gotta put this little girl in front of the camera? Because I think, like you said, subconsciously, I think that I can say that that's how I wanted to become, you know, like an actor or be in front of the camera.
You make me think about the macaroni and cheese, but yeah, I saw something. I don't know if your mama saw what I was seeing. I think if anybody would have been behind me and seeing what I see or seen, uh, you know, you probably would. I don't know. You probably be in a couple of movies by now, cause I feel like almost going Joe Jackson with you, you know, because I feel like you had something, you know, I feel like you had something, but I think that through the whole thing you had to discover it yourself. It's like you know, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, he was saying, you know, she got the gift, she got it, you know, but even though I think if a child has what you are kind of imparting on them, it has to be within them to love what you love. Sometimes we want to, you know, live our supposed life through our children. You know, I didn't get a chance to do that, and so I would love them to do what I didn't get a chance to do. But it's just up to them to discover that, and I think we put it out there, and really, I don't think we was. I mean, we just was having fun, you know, being in front of the camera and taking a load of pictures and going to the park and just doing little things. Really, the things that, like what Chantel said earlier, the pandemic is making you do. You know, I always say go back to the basics. If you find yourself in a just a disarray of what, like, go back to the basics. Like, we don't. Sometimes you gotta get away from the cell phone, the YouTube, and just sit down and watch Five Heartbeats, something that you grew up on. You know, watch The Color Purple. Sit down and play Monopoly together. Uno or something. Just go feed some ducks. Just get back to basic things that make family what family should be. Nowadays, nobody don't eat at the table together. Everybody going in their own rooms. Everybody doing their own thing. And I think that social media and all these different things, we use them like, you know, they have their place. You know, they're good, but like anything, you have to do it in moderation. If not, you'll lose what's right there before you. And family values is I think one of the most important things that we have.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for any last words. And I asked her, did she want to give advice? You 50, right? She 47. You like 50.
No, he's not.
But
Listen, if I'm 50, listen, if anybody, this is what can be concluded of that. If anybody lied, because you don't know how old you are, somebody just told you that, you know, and based on what I saw when I first met you, nobody was keeping up with you the right way.
Wow.
So for all we know, you could be 50. You know what I'm saying? You know, you exemplifying some 50-ish things, you know. And the other than that, somebody could have lied to me, because most of the time people say I look younger. You know, I done been with you and somebody was like looking at me like, I want to talk. You remember that?
Yeah, this lady at the bank. This your dad. Oh, so where the mom at?
Yeah. So not
down. But would you like to give any advice that you would give to anybody out there who is is in their early 30s or maybe in their early 40s, any advice what have you learned over the course of your years, or even just this year? What have you learned?
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy spouse. Y'all both have to be happy. But what would you say?
This is for I'll say, it's people, what you're going through, it's people that have already went through what you're about to embark on. And so listening is key. Listening is king. It's people who have had breakups, divorces, and lost loved ones. They have been through, they've had jobs, they had careers, they have ups and downs. Like, get around somebody that's older. It's not always about, it's good to have a friend that's your age, that's a peer. But get around somebody that's older, a grandmother, aunt, call them, talk to them, see what they got to say about some things. Because, wisdom don't just come with age, it comes with experience. And most of the time when someone is of a certain age, they have a lot of experience. There's some old foolish people, but there is a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom in books. There's a lot of wisdom in books that people have lived. They have lived their whole life trying to figure out how to make a budget. Different things of that nature. And a lot of the answers is in the book. A lot of answers in the conversation, talking with. If you got a grandmother, if you got an older deacon or somebody that done been through somewhat, listen. Sometimes it's not. I said when you get in situations, a lot of times people want to always say, "Yeah, I know, I've been there, I've done that, I got the T-shirt." Sometimes be quiet and just listen, because when you are observing, you can learn from a child, and you can learn from an adult. So what's the advice? Be a listener, and you don't just listen. You don't just listen to words. You listen with your heart, your soul, everything. Listen to mannerisms. Somebody sitting up there telling you every sign that you see that they're suffering, that they're hurting, that they're in pain, and you're not seeing it. You always see on the news where people say, "I never would have thought he would have killed himself. I never would have thought he would have did that to all them people." Well, maybe somebody wasn't listening to the cry. It's important to listen on every side of the spectrum, because it's important to listen. It's important to listen. We always want to talk and say what we want to get in our input. A lot of times when we're having a conversation, we only letting you say what you want to say so I can hurry up and say what I want to say, because I'm the most important part of the conversation is what usually people do, because usually people are thinking of themselves.
You're listening to rebuttal instead of listening to what they actually.
You're listening with a lot of times people are listening with the idea of, oh, he said that, now I'm setting up what I'm gonna say back about this. But listen.
That is some good advice. One thing that I do remember you always saying, like, I still am, but I'm not as much as that type of person where I used to be like, well, you used to say, you don't have to experience it. Like, I'm telling you, like, but I'm like, no, I gotta experience it for myself. Like, if I tell you that the stove is hot,
I do not agree with that.
You don't have to go touch it just to,
That phrase, experience is the best teacher. I think that's a bumper sticker that needs to be thrown away. That's not the best teacher. Not experience is not the best teacher. I don't think, because you don't have to experience certain things. I don't have to. That's the easiest one that we always say, fire. I don't have to experience the burn of a fire. I don't have to experience that. If I got an older sister or a mother or a sister or uncle that have went down a certain road, it's like, you shouldn't have to experiment with things that people already have experimented with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you seen someone in an abusive relationship and they just kept doing the same thing over and over again, and you see yourself in something like that, it's right there. It's like, I don't need to be right here.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody that has spiraled because they have done drugs or alcohol or something, you know, that may be a family member.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have to try that or experience that to see if it's going to be different for you, because you know it's like statistics. You know, it's just
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to experience certain things. I don't I'm not gonna stick my head inside of a lion's mouth just to see if he gonna, well, maybe he's trained. No, for all most of the time I see lions bite stuff that you know that's meat. Yeah, so I don't want to try it. It doesn't make any sense. Sometimes it's things you're gonna be led. It's common sense. It's natural. It just makes sense. But then some things, uh, it just makes sense. Some things gonna be spiritual, but some things it's gonna be just make sense.
Mm-hmm. And that's a wrap.